It's another day here at the Comeback Team Studios. This is your host, Bek Lover, and you're watching another episode of the Interesting Times podcast, the day after one of the most epic victories and comeback stories in American politics, in American history. The morning after the red tsunami swept across the nation. The way things are looking, a conservative president, a conservative Senate, and a conservative Congress, if they actually are not rhinos. And for those of you that are a little slow, a rhino is a Republican in name only, meaning people that don't really care about the conservative values, they just run to get the office. In any event, so much has happened in the last 24 hours. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're joining me for the first time from Kick or Twitch, I do streams in the street. I'm a very influential guy here in New York City. I have viral content that has impacted billions of people around the world, changing their perceptions of life, humanity, other people, nations, and creeds. My mission in life is to bring you the stories, give you my twist, and you form your own opinion. Make sure you hit the sub button, the heart. I'm working very hard here for years. I appreciate all of you that have been so loyal to me. Last night, I was invited on In Godfrey We Trust. If you were watching it live on his YouTube channel, Godfrey's a massive comic with a huge following. And I rolled up to his studio with a little surprise. I'm going to show you guys last night. I actually rolled up like I was in riot gear before we went on to the show. And it was interesting indeed. Interesting indeed.
Peaceful transition of power. We don't have no January 6th shit here. Get the... What is this? We got to make sure there's a peaceful transition of power, man. I'm wearing a 20-pound helmet for you, man.
This is just...
And I got
he said he was coming crazy. He said...
Looking like Battlefield, Call of Duty right now, yeah?
Yes,
I don't know if you want to be a
that's me.
or a welder.
I wanted to make sure, before they announced the winner of last night's election, since I was in Manhattan, a liberal mecca, I wanted to make sure I could make it out of there alive. I had an amazing 3.5-hour stream. We literally cut it 10 minutes before they called the election. I wish we just would have stayed on 10 minutes longer. Godfrey's a legend. You've heard his voice in the movie Aladdin. He's a very famous comic, very successful. And we hosted that stream. It'll be up on his channel this week. We had Ty Jones, we had my man Dante Nero, and we had Vishnu, an Indian comic, and we had a really interesting night. So I hope you guys get to catch it. We had the food provided that day was sponsored by my good friends over at No Fork. They provided us with some nice sandwiches, delicious spot, one location in the Bronx and in the East Village. Last night I was out and about. I was in the streets in New York. I don't know if I have any footage here. Some shots of Godfrey's studio. And we were out there in the streets. Last night, this guy, it was 3:30 in the morning.
Who won?
This guy was rolling around on his bike at 3:45 in the morning. I shit you not, with a huge American flag, a MAGA hat, with a huge megaphone. It sounded like we were inside Yankee Stadium. And he was broadcasting, "New Yorkers, sleep well, because Donald Trump will be your president again and he will save you." I was dying, man. I mean, the shit you see in New York, it's hard to leave this city, man. It really, really is hard to leave this city.
Straight up, seriously.
Albanian sandwich, no
Listen,
fork.
Albanians, we didn't even know they had a cuisine. I just thought, they just do real shady shit, but they make a good fucking sandwich. God, this is a bad.
It's right here.
It's right here, right?
There's Dante.
Right on knife. And I like that it was chopped.
And we brought him some Albanian sandwiches from No Fork, and he loved it. If you're not following me on Instagram, please check it out. I post content there every day, TikTok. But in any event, there's a lot I want to cover, so let's get into it. We're going to cover the post-election. We're going to cover what I think's coming. We're going to cover, actually, before I jump into all of that, I am begging you to please pay attention to the skies above you, especially if you live in cities. I do about 100 trips a year. I just got back from Austin. I was in LA earlier this year, Las Vegas, and I always pay attention to the sky. And I've noticed these trails. It's not the first time. I know what's going on. I'm avoiding certain words, okay? But lately, these lines that are coming out of airplanes, I shit you not, there's no clouds in the sky. They disperse, and you can see the particles. This is footage that I filmed today above the skies of New York City and northern New Jersey, where the Hudson River is. I want you guys and girls to take a look at this video, and please share it. If you go on my Instagram, share it with everyone you know. This administration must answer to the American people, not only for who took out JFK, which we're going to cover, which Trump promised he's going to tell us immediately. It's going to be a cleansing moment, if you remember in my previous broadcast. But just because he won and people believe he's going to save America and change everything, it doesn't mean nothing, my friend. Remember, he was in power one time. He did have control of the Senate, and nothing got done. Yeah, he was being attacked every day. My point is, you got 4 years. For those of you that believe he's the one that's going to save the world, we need to hold these people accountable. The Congress is red. The Oval Office is red. The Senate is red. There's no excuse for them to not be able to do everything unless the people that are in those positions are traitors to the movement. The American people spoke loud and clear yesterday. Loud and clear. It was a landslide. But let's check out this video. Drop your comments here. I'm seeing them here in the comment section. Are you observing the skies above us? Check out this video I recorded today. We need to ask Donald Trump to tell us what they are spraying in the sky. You have all these little things that look like seeds that completely make our cars filthy. We're breathing this stuff in. Whatever is in the sky turns into this, it spreads out. So first you get the line from the plane like it's spraying right now. You're going to notice these are not normal contrails. These are much thicker lines. And in places like New York where there's tons of airplanes, you're going to notice there's one plane flying at the same altitude or close to it, no streak, yet these planes keep going back and forth with these large plumes of smoke behind them. Okay, so there's planes, regular planes coming from JFK, coming from LaGuardia, coming from Newark. And there's other planes, same altitudes, give or take a few hundred feet or whatever, right? The sky is very busy. A lot of them have nothing coming out the back, not a normal contrail. These come out thick. They remain there for a long time. They don't just disperse. Then they turn into like what looks like steam in the sky, and then these little particles. They look like seeds. They look like little insects, but they're not. What is in these things? Look at the footage. I'm going to continue playing this video. Then it spreads out, and then it falls down and covers. Look at the car. Turns into this, and then you see what looks like little seeds during spring. Okay, it's not spring right now. Okay, you see the little Watch particles? This. Okay, it's not spring, it's November. Okay, there's no pollination going on. I mean, we're breathing this in, man. What is this stuff? Okay? Is it metals? I mean, what is it? Literally falling from the sky. Start asking questions, America. What are they pumping out of these planes? What are we breathing in? Look at this. It's crazy. And I'm telling you, like, even the sun gets blocked out. There's like a haze. I have grown up staring at the New York City skyline my entire life. And there's always like this haze, even though there's no clouds in the sky, no pollution. Like, it's just crazy to me, man. And we need answers. I want answers. Another thing I want to answer from Trump is he said on the Joe Rogan podcast, he said, I'm going to release the files. There's going to be a cleansing. Now, if he can't release these files in the first 60 days, 90 days, then all of us got psyoped. That's all I got to say. We need real results this time. So, crazy. Now, before I get into the rest of it, Canada orders shut down a TikTok's Canadian business, app access to continue. There's rumors of this happening in America. I hope it does. I'm tired of watching girls shaking their butts and kids acting like idiots. And, I have to watch what I write on there because I always get, kicked off the damn app. Like, it's just it's very hard. I hope it goes down. I would love that. And then everybody floods back to Instagram and X. I can't stand the way they run their app. Donald Trump defeats Kamala Harris to become the next U.S. president. Okay? What a night it was as he stood there with his closest friends, his supporters. You had people like Elon Musk that had his back. Dana White. You got to throw Joe Rogan into the mix. These people had everything to do with, you got to throw Alex Jones in there. You got to throw him in there. These are the people that helped this guy win. Period. Candace Owens, you got to throw her in there too. This shows the power of people like you watching shows like this. Independent journalists, those that give you their opinions, unfiltered, unpaid for, telling you what they think, trying to warn you of what may be coming if we don't act. A lot of people woke up today, unless they're extremely liberal or believe that we actually even had a vote, very depressed. But the majority of people, I feel like the energy shifted. I woke up today for the first time in a long time, and I was like, they're not going to try to chop off my kids' dicks for the next 4 years. Okay? The war's not over, but my kids' dicks are not going to get chopped off in class, convinced by their teachers, with a surgery without asking for my consent, paid for by the federal government, bro? Really? Like, this is the type of shit you guys were trying to do to everybody for the last fucking 8 years, 10 years? You got Robert F. Kennedy coming in clutch, promising to do massive overhaul. These men must be protected at all cost. Okay? He's still not in office. Anything can happen. This is not a joke. This is not a game. Okay? Anything can happen. We're not out of the woods yet. But you can feel a lifting of the energy. You can feel they're not going to try to chop my son's dick off in class when I'm not there, when the teacher's not watching, ship him to a hospital without parental consent at the age of minor for the next 4 years at least. Shit. For the next 4 years, I'm not going to worry about that, supposedly. Harris urges supporters to accept results after Trump's election win. That's a first. My man hit it with like 70 more electoral votes, bro. He slaughtered her. Slaughtered. There's a lot of people around the world. The markets have been impacted already. People that were trying to take Trump out are cop and please right now. Here's one of them. Special counsel Jack Smith taking steps to wind down federal cases against Trump. Donald Trump started this year fighting 2 federal prosecutions that threatened to send him to prison, but he will end it free and clear of his most significant criminal legal problems. With his resounding victory at the polls and a long-standing Justice Department policy against prosecuting a sitting president, the key question is not if, but when prosecutors move to dismiss or delay his federal election interference case in D.C. It was an amazing night for Trump and the people that supported him. Trump has big plans from day one on immigration, energy, and more. President-elect Trump is expected to get to work immediately upon taking office, enacting major changes on immigration, energy, and foreign policy. Trump late last year suggested that he would not rule as a dictator except for day one, a sign he intends to use executive authority aggressively to implement changes to immigration policy and energy policy in particular. Thank God, man. Thank God we can close that fucking border, at least for a couple of years. Thank God. All of the secure border policies that we had in place with President Trump, he can simply flip the switch and put those back in place, just like they were before. And don't forget, the Border Patrol endorsed Trump officially as the president. So if he was so bad for the border, he would have endorsed the other side that left it open for fucking years. Years. It's like that movie The Town where Ben Affleck goes in to see the florist and he tells him about how his father and his mother used to work for him, and he goes, "His father worked for me for years." You remember that scene in the movie The Town? I don't know why I'm talking about this, but at nearly every campaign rally this cycle, the former president's prepared remarks included the line, "On day one, I will launch the largest deportation program in American history." I'm telling you right now, The streets are empty, man. A lot of these fucking illegal aliens are hiding already. They're like, mira, Trump win. ICE coming for us. ICE is coming for us. You're going to hear, you know how they have the reality show Cops? I got a brilliant idea. Because they've allowed millions of illegal immigrants in here, and, you know, again, my heart goes to the normal people that are just trying to come here and make it and whatever, and, you know, maybe he'll have some mercy. But these criminals, these sick people that have been robbing and killing and you know, to 5-year-old girls, 10-year-old girls, like this happened a couple days ago before the election. They should make a show like they had Cops, reality show, but now they should call it Migrant Chases. Or like they had like the bounty hunters, sending them out there to round these people up. Probably be a great reality show. Migrant Nation. The aftermath of 4 years of fucking idiots running this country. This makes me very happy, okay? Especially people that know how serious a lot of this stuff is. Fluoride vaccines and food dye are part of RFK Jr.'s plan to make America healthy again. I had the honor of being in a X space with Augustus Palente, my good friend, who was actually at the acceptance party last night for Trump. He was invited there because of RFK. I had the pleasure of speaking with RFK and his children, his son, I believe it was, that was on our broadcast on X Spaces. Make sure you follow me on X. I don't know if you've noticed, I've really ramped things up. Land, air, and sea. I'm putting up almost a daily show every day that you guys enjoy, and girls. I started streaming. I was streaming live last night for hours. I post different pieces of content throughout all of my platforms, so if you enjoy it, make sure you follow all of them. Go to BekLover.com, man. Hit a sub button. Leave a comment. These little things help me, man. I need your help. Make America great again. Fluoride vaccines and food or dye are part of RFK Jr.'s plan to make America healthy again. What do experts think? I don't care what the experts think because they allowed all this shit into our food. Fluoride makes half of us fucking idiots. Like, hey, it's not people's faults, man. They've been drinking fluoride. They're like, hey, man, they became fucking idiots. The American people and humanity have been being attacked by food, chemicals, fucking whatever's in those airplanes. Radiation from cell phone towers, 5G, all this shit, man. They're turning people into fucking idiots. Then a lot of them did this, right? They put this fucking thing into them. We're not out of the woods yet, by any means. Do not let your guard down. We're not out of the woods. I don't trust anyone until I see the results. But I'm optimistic. And hope is a really good feeling, man. It is a very good feeling. It's like, I saw my man Brad Lee. He posted on his Instagram, you know, the successful business guru. He was like, today I woke up and I just breathed a little bit, man. I just breathed a little bit, you know? Kennedy told MSNBC on Wednesday that he has never been anti-you-know-what. Anti starts with a V. But his track record suggests otherwise. He took a position in 2015 as chairman of an organization called Children's Health Defense. So he wants fluoride out of the water. I mean, there's a lot of things going down. I pray to God we need it. I think people are dying from cancer and sicknesses and stuff. I had allergies to propylene glycol. I had no idea what was in my food. It's even in McDonald's. They put propylene glycol in their buns, even their sauce. Why is a chemical that's used to make antifreeze in our food? Can you explain that to me? Okay, I had an allergic reaction for years. My head would bleed. Okay, I have scars all over my head. Because every shampoo I was washing my head with was creating blisters. I was allergic. And every doctor I went to, they only cared about big patients for plastic surgery. They didn't care to help me out and figure out what was wrong with my scalp. A simple, allergy test would have found it out. They were trying to tell me I had something that was incurable. And then I met this amazing doctor from Africa. She was amazing. I went, she scanned a woman from a foreign country who actually cares about her patients, and she helped me figure this thing out, and my head never bled again. But the damage was done already. It's crazy, man. One guy that's not fucked, and that was probably one of the most epic videos ever before the election, was Elon Musk speaking with Tucker Carlson. And when Tucker's like, man, if they don't win, like, what are you going to do, man? He's like, I guess I'm fucked. And they start laughing. I thought it was fucking, like, the greatest highlight for me was that. It was like, fuck it. Like, it's like, here I am. I could probably be, politically persecuted. I could probably get in a lot of trouble if the wrong people take office. I know that what I'm doing is more important than my own personal gains, even though he's going to have plenty of them. Because Tesla shares have soared more than 14% since yesterday, boosting Elon Musk's electric vehicle company. Tesla has a scale and scope that is unmatched. This dynamic could give Musk and Tesla a clear competitive advantage in a non-EV subsidy environment. Now remember, Trump said he's going to make it if you buy an American car, you can write it off. Like, we're not letting this guy off the hook. But I want to know who whacked JFK. I want justice for everyone that lost their lives and lost their businesses and everything that happened in 2019 when he was in power. Okay? And he had Project Warp Speed. Okay? Like, I'm not letting my eye off the prize. I don't give a fuck if it's Trump in there, whoever. Like, we want results. We want freedom protected. We want these wars over. We want peace in the Middle East. We don't want any country infiltrating our government and our senators and Congress people having dual citizenship. Their loyalty should only be to the United States of America, period. And I think Trump needs to really push in these next 4 years for term limits to be some type of special vote to the American people. It shouldn't even be in the hands of Congress. Okay? Who the fuck are they to stay in power 40 years? Chuck Schumer, 40 fucking years, 50 fucking years. Are you kidding me? Like, this is the real problem in America. It doesn't matter. I've said this to all of you, show after show after show. It does not matter who sits in the Oval Office if the amount of corruption that exists in all the other positions in legislation. They got a red wave, a red tsunami. They're going to probably have a completely packed Supreme Court also, by the way, because I think Clarence is going to step down, and they're going to put some young fucker in there that better take care of his health. Okay? There's a lot going on, okay? Maybe we bought some time. Maybe God forgives us. Maybe we can buy another generation before collapse. I don't know. But only God knows the future. Migrant caravan of 3,000 heads north in Mexico. They're like, mira, we got to get across that border by January 1st because Donald Trump is coming to fuck our lives, yo. He's coming to build the fucking wall, put the border control where they need to be, round up all our cousins and shit, everyone that came in illegally. Like, the free ride's over. No more debit cards. No more $500 a night hotel rooms. No more I'm going to commit some crime and get away with it. Oh, shit. We want law and order in this fucking country. We don't want government overreach. We want law and order. We're not here to work and pay. My family came here with nothing. No one gave them a hotel room. No one gave them a fucking dime. They worked 3-4 jobs. They slept on floors until they could afford an apartment. Who the fuck are they to get free shit, free this, free that for years? Millions of people struggled in 2008 during the Great Recession, all the other shit when everything closed down. Okay? And we're giving away trillions of dollars to people that have never worked a day in their life in this country, bro. Really? Really? That's a good policy, right? If I'm a minority living in Chicago or Detroit in the inner city, and they got billions of dollars, but they can't come and fix the projects or fix the hood or fix Flint, Michigan's water. But they got billions of dollars for people that never spent a day here working. Don't you realize that that hurts you when you're a minority or when you're in a low income? Why? Because they're going to take those jobs that low income people would work. That's number one. Number two, they're going to live where the low income people live, which is going to create higher demand for residency, which is going to shoot rental prices high. New York City doesn't have $800 to $1,000 a night hotel rooms when New York City was booming. It's because it's occupied by illegals being paid for by you and I. And the same thing happens in housing, right? Because they're going to live in those areas and they're not going to be able to afford expensive rent, and that's going to make it more expensive for the low-income people. Don't you understand? It's simple economics. Supply, demand. Lower supply, higher price. Stupid. Idiots. Not you. The people that support the policies of the last 4 years. Trump promises to bring lasting peace to a tumultuous Middle East. Fixing it won't be easy. Let's see. Get it over with, and let's get back to peace and stop killing people, Trump said of the conflict in Gaza. And I got to be honest with you. You had the Muslims endorse him in Michigan, which changed everything. This war in the Middle East cost the left their this election, without a doubt in my mind. And I believe every man on earth that could fucking vote voted for once. They were like, you know what, we had enough of this bullshit. I think everybody, I've never seen more people post that they voted, records, lines. It was amazing to witness everyone vote. Literally everybody. So I've never seen anything like it. Ever. But I really truly believe that Gaza played a catastrophic role in costing the left this election. That's number one. Number two, people like Marky Mark from Facebook admitting that they suppressed information ordered by the government. And I said it on Godfrey's podcast last night. They all voted for Kamala. And then they said to me, who'd you vote for? I said, and I know a lot of you want to know, I voted for Trump. Even though I'm a libertarian, even though I don't hold my breath for anyone. But I said, you didn't even know who's in the Oval Office, man. I said, the scariest thing to me is who was in that office, who was running the government in the country, when we all know, unless you're an idiot, unless you're a moron, we know that Joe Biden was not running this country. He didn't know where he is. He was falling down stairs and escalators and fucking bicycles and mumbling. He didn't know where the fuck he was. He was not the president. So who was running the country? American people. That's a terrifying question to ask. And it doesn't mean that there's not somebody behind the orange man. We don't know. I'll know when I see the results. I'll trust him when I see him do what he says he's going to do. And until the NWO gets taken out, I don't trust any of them. There's levels to this pyramid stuff, people. There's levels to it. There's levels to a pyramid. They might give us a few celebrities like Diddy. I want to know who danced around on that island with the guy that his name started with E and rhymed with Steen. I want to know the Podestas and these people. You know what I'm saying? The guys that wear cloaks and go to California once a year, those motherfuckers. When I see them in handcuffs, then I'll say, okay, yeah, I can believe everything you guys think he's going to do. But until then, you know who I believe in? God. So I'm praying that we get what we all think. Otherwise, it was the greatest psyop of the elite and the globalists in the history of humanity. There's no middle here. It's either he's going to be this guy who's going to save us, or psyop. There's no middle here. You know this. So, let's go, man. So, Bibi fired this guy. He's out. His general, if I'm not mistaken. Defense Minister Yoav Gallant speaks during a press conference at Hakira base in Tel Aviv. In a brief speech after Netanyahu said an announcement, it is our moral obligation to ensure the return of the hostages in light of the military achievements of the past year. It is possible to achieve this goal. It requires painful concessions, which the State of Israel can carry and the IDF can bear. Failure to do so, Gallant said, would be the mark of Cain on Israeli society and those who lead us on the wrongful path. Ukrainian troops have engaged with North Korean units for the first time in Russia. Okay, that conflict's still raging on. People are going to get their last licks in. They got less than 40 or whatever it is, two months to get their last licks in, funnel as much money as they can. You got this asshole. I would love to see his face. Gavin Newsom, California voters approved measure making some shoplifting drug offenses felonies. You don't say. I guess the people of California got tired. Finally, California voters approved a ballot measure Tuesday seeking harsher punishment for retail crimes, including shoplifting and theft. I'm getting tired of going to fucking CVS, having to push a button, have some asshole come from the counter, open up a plastic counter to give me a can of shaving cream or a fucking soap or a razor. It's getting to be a little too much. Like, seriously. And these policies are why these assholes lost. Okay? You want to push your agendas on our children. You want to defile everything that God created. You want us to turn off our brains that have common sense, letting criminals out the second they commit crime with no trial, no nothing, no bail. And then you wonder why these cities that we loved at one point in this country have turned to shit overnight. And then you wonder why even the working people who never really paid attention, who got tired of being robbed and shot and kicked because they don't have the capacity, a lot of them, to critically think because they're too busy trying to survive. So they can just only watch the mainstream media. But after so many times you're getting beaten up and robbed and you're scared to walk down the block, you're like, these people don't give a fuck about me. I'm going this way for once. You had that mother of that girl that was, assaulted graphically, and then her life was taken from her, and she spoke with Trump. That hit every mother's heart across the nation. And you people are worried about things that weren't even true the way they were pitched to you. You want to take something out of your womb, you're still going to be able to do it. You'll burn in hell, don't worry, but you can still do it. No one's taking that right from you, I promise. It's a lot easier to close your fucking legs. Spiritually. I mean, there needs to be a complete overhaul. My man McFly, Scott H., Deep Waters, they're making comments here in the chat. These agencies need to be overhauled. And remember, they made it seem like when he wins, Elon Musk might have like a role in like trimming all the fat, because this government's really out of control. There's way too much bureaucracy, way too many departments, way too many. I had a friend one time, I forgot what department he was in. I swear to God, he said they would order like $10,000 desks. Can you imagine you're sitting at a fucking $10,000 desk? And they'd keep it for a year, throw it out, order another one, because they don't care. It's your money. It's my money, your money, not their money. Like the amount of overspending and corruption and it's just insane. I really hope. But if these people don't start doing this stuff right from the get-go, then all of us got psyoped, but the battle's not over. And this ain't about right or left. I could give two fucks about right or left, Republican, Democrat. To me, they're the same shit until proven differently. I want to see this change. I want America to become a laissez-faire nation. I don't want us starting wars all over the world. I want us to mind our business for once. I want our industry to come back. I want the rest of the world economies to have to play by our rules too. Meaning, you're going to charge us X, we're going to charge you X. I don't mind paying more if it protects America and protects you, the American worker. It's crazy, man, how we got here. I'm not surprised that it was a tsunami. Another country, I mean, the impact that this election has already had, and he's not even in office. Iran's currency tanks to all-time low as Trump clinches U.S. presidency. While Tehran downplays impact of result, local fear president-elect will increase U.S. sanctions. You can bet your life he will. The rial traded at 703 to the dollar. Traders in Tehran said the rate could still change throughout the day. Iran's central bank could flood the market with more hard currencies as an attempt to improve the rate, as it has done in the past. 100% he will intensify the sanctions, said Amir Agihayanan, a 22-year-old student. Things that are not in our favor will be worse. Our economy and social situation will surely get worse. Looks like it will. Israel strikes on Lebanon, take 40 people out around Baalbek. They're going to get their last licks in. And that's pretty much about it, my friends. Like, let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's see if he keeps his promise. He said he's going to tell us about JFK immediately. It should be uncensored if he's real. Let us know who took out our president. Probably the last president elected. Truly elected, in my opinion. You're going to have this guy go after fluoride and all these chemicals? Prove it. You're going to have Elon Musk trim the fat? Prove it. You talk the talk. Now you have the power, man. You got the power. Power. You got the Congress and Senate. You got the Supreme Court. You got no excuses, except if they're traitors to the party. And they exist. and you're full of shit. Otherwise, you should be able to dominate with policy. So that is it. Okay, this country's in debt to its eyeballs. I agree, Scott H. And we don't know really how hard this is going to go. Now, if I was a betting man, I would bet that there will be some type of massive market correction, some type of massive, I think, there has to be, man. It's all air, man. You know? But let's see. I think there'll be a collapse. I think. You know, whether it's induced by his enemies to make him look horrible as soon as he gets in. I don't know. That's my prediction. I could be wrong. You can drop comments here. But I do believe there will be a massive something, you know. Can't just keep printing money and there's no side effects to that. But let's see. Let's see. And then if the BRICS thing rolls out at the same time around he gets in office, there's a lot on the table, man. There's so many different angles the way this could go. But I got to say, I'm breathing a little bit okay, you know. My kid's dick's not going to get chopped off in the next 4 years. We're going to be all right. Okay? They're not going to be able to come and take your kids in the middle of the night and sterilize them, which is what they want to do. So I want to thank you all. This is a short little thing. I was up late last night. I have a lot of content coming out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm streaming. I'm going to be in the streets a lot more now. For those of you that saw me in the streets yesterday, I know you enjoyed it. Let me see if I can pull up a highlight for you if you're watching. And you can watch this episode on YouTube, Rumble, or Spotify. Could use the help on Spotify. Spotify does the right thing for me. So, but last night, let's see here if we have any... let's see here. Oh, yeah, we got a lot of views here, man. Let's see if we have the stream here. Are we live? So, yeah, this was last night. I'll give you guys a little taste of what streaming looks like with me. Lobbying is... You ready?
On PBD, I didn't think he'd be that stupid to post it. He's a big podcaster, bro.
Sorry,
Yo, my honor to meet you. Bro, these people don't fucking know. It doesn't matter who wins, bro.
What up, Godfrey?
Somebody tells me you got some fire shit, bro. Where's this one?
Yo, yeah? Huh? What up, yo? What up?
You got it, okay? Let's see now. I want to see the reversal of globalism. If he doesn't reverse globalism, it was all a psyop. He's got 6 months from today. Sound and video was excellent. We're going to be in the streets a lot more. I hope you're ready for that. If you were watching the stream last night, let me know. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me show you. I was doing some action in the streets. I was doing some pranks. I was screaming at people, he won! He won! Trump won! He didn't even win yet, but it was funny.
4 times I was here, yes?
Here we go. Look at this.
I'm here to keep the peace in America.
Look at this. Here we go. Behind the scenes. Let's see how this was yesterday.
South on Martin on the juice, Paul. Power after the election. It's the duty of every American to vote and to be peaceful. And yeah, maybe you need to get a light sometime, huh? Don't all the streamers have lights? We're like amateurs, man. Yo, sure, he go.
Sweating up, Paul. Praise the Lord. All the time.
Be safe, fam. Be safe.
Fused or separated. So, you hear me? Yo, Dad, don't forget, it's Moon Puppy, you hear me? Bar, you hear me? The Hidden, you hear me? Come.
Interesting night in New York City last night. I look like a fucking...
Yeah, just give, not cash, right? Have the same problem.
Russian power military.
Take care of the girl.
Is what I look like.
Our car's here anyway.
So drop a comment if you want me to keep streaming in the streets of New York City, bringing you all kinds of content, because I will, my friends. I promise you, I will entertain you. Are you not entertained? This is the Bek Lover podcast, interesting times, where you might just learn a thing or two about life. I'll see you on the next show. And remember, never give up, never surrender. I don't know what the fuck happened with that podcast with Mike Ranger. Like, it was amazing. I don't know why it hasn't aired yet. If I get any details on it, I'll let you know. But, I mean, shit, man. It's crazy. So I'll see you soon. Take care of yourselves. This is Bek Lover, signing off.